Hi guys, my name is Abigail Dalton. Welcome back to Abigail Answers, episode number 3. I'm joined with my buddy Annahgrace.
What's up?
Nikki's not here today. She is not responding. It's fine.
No, she's probably at work.
She's terrible at texting, but her phone's also stupid. But yeah, she's definitely at work. So today, in the first episode, if you've gotten a chance to listen to it, I kind of talked about photography and videography. I answered some questions from my Instagram. And today we kind of just wanted to talk about like how we got started with our careers, and we're both 19. Our birthdays are 2 days apart, which is super crazy. Like the first day we met, it was because she was editing pictures at our favorite coffee shop. And I was like, oh, is that a 70D? Because that's what I shot on at the time. And it was just cool that it started from there.
Yeah, it's so wild. It's so wild.
I was like, when's your birthday? Like, we had so much in common. I was like, when's your birthday? She was like, June 26th, right?
Yeah, it is.
I was like, mine's June 24th.
We were like, well, we both. And you're like, what kind of car do you drive? A red Jeep.
Oh, really? Me too. It's really scary. And we both had like the same tattoo. It was kind of mentioned in the last, my hoodie is up. And if you're not watching this video, you're very confused.
Right.
But I have a tattoo that's in Jesus' name and Courier New.
Yeah, and both of mine are Jesus related, but they're in the same font and the same placement that her tattoo is in. So that's really funny.
Super weird.
Good times.
Had those before we knew each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, this beanie's really itchy. It's great.
I love that beanie.
Annahgrace bought me this hoodie from Sisters of Harold. Thank you so much.
Use code James for 10%
Appreciate it.
off.
Use code. Wait, did you? Is that a thing on his own?
I don't think it worked on his, because I literally put code James, because I was like, well, maybe that is real. Like, maybe I can get 10% off if I put code James, and it didn't work.
Or was it just James?
Yeah, I put James.
Code.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I put James.
I was like, you put code James?
CODE.
I
James.
don't think so. Okay. Sorry, it's really hot in here. Okay, yes. So let's talk about how we got started. Annahgrace is more so photography. I'm more so on the cinematography side. Although I started with photography, I don't know how she quite fell in love with it. But I guess, at what age did you know you had a passion for photography, like the arts?
Oh, man. It was probably like 15. Like, that's when I started, like, really getting into, like, I got my first camera when I was 15 for my birthday. And I think it was a Canon Rebel.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is a great camera.
Oh, it's a great starter camera.
For a starter.
Yeah.
Like, that's beyond
really nice.
Really good. But yeah, I really fell in love, I think, around 15. I took a photography class.
Oh, you did?
When I went to school for, like, 2 years. That's what started, like, my kind of obsession and, like, knowledge of photography. I'm like, oh, what's, like, bokeh photography? Or, like, wait, how do you say it?
Bokeh.
Bokeh. Oh, my God. Our teacher said bokeh.
Chimics. I'm sorry.
Chimics.
Hey, do y'all sell chimixes? Or chemics? It's okay. You learn something new every day.
I know. But yeah, so that was just, I think it was age 15. What about you, though?
I... Also, if you're watching this video, which you totally should on YouTube, because we're in front of a green screen, which means we're having fun. So we're definitely in front of like a Hollywood sign right now because we're talking about film and photo. Super ratchet. Green screen is wrinkled as heck, but I just thought it was funny. Running out of ideas here in my 750 square feet apartment for backdrops. So anyways.
Yes, girl. We gotta do what you gotta do.
Yes. So I had a passion for video ever since like 5th grade. I used to play with Little's Pet Shops, and so there was a YouTuber I watched named Sophie Garrett, and now she's like probably 30, still makes videos, kind of creepy and weird, but at the time I was loving them. And she definitely had some type of like cheap Canon camera or like something like that, Nikon, and would video these Little's Pet Shops with voiceovers. It was like totally scripted, like dialogue, like it was like a good TV drama series, but like Little's Pet Shops.
Degrassi with Little's
No, that's
Pet Shop.
exactly what it was. It was like Little Pet Shop High School or like something stupid like that, and it was totally like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but like that's how I fell in love with it, and I wanted to make videos like her, so I created a YouTube channel under my parents' discretion, named Doodlebug Rocks 01.
Which had the pleasure of seeing some of the videos in her early years.
So there's another I created like 4 YouTube channels when I was like 9 years old. Don't let your kid do that. I lost login control to one of them. All the others have been deleted. So sorry about that. I feel like I didn't know you could private stuff. So I deleted all the channels. Like, people are going to find out I made videos about my little pet shops. I have to delete them now. That was like me in 6th grade. So I deleted everything except for this one channel. I just forgot the login, and I'm not going to share that because if I want to later, I'll share it. But
she probably will.
Only the close select few get to see me as like a little tiny girl with, hi guys, so today welcome to... I'm not telling them the name. I can't because that definitely gives it away.
Oh my god.
Totally copied iCarly, but that was a big inspiration at the time. But yeah, so I started editing and filming the videos on a laptop webcam, a Toshiba laptop webcam.
Really?
Terrible.
Wow.
Like you could see, like you saw, like the clicker, the trackpad. Like, well, yeah. So that's how I fell in love with it. But I didn't know you could go to school for film and arts, and I didn't even know that women could be videographers until I was like 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had an assignment in my math class, which was really strange, but I guess she was just bored of teaching math. But it was like, where do you want to go to school and why? And so that was like the first time I had to think about, where do I want to go to college? And I found New York Film Academy in LA, and there's one in New York, obviously. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it's definitely like a 1 to 2 year program. It's not a bachelor's or associate's. It's just like a film school. And it's like $2,000 a semester. It's really cheap and really great.
Yeah.
But that was like the first art school I had ever found. And so later on in high school, like sophomore year, I guess I got like an email or a letter from FIDM, FIDM in LA, which is a fashion school, fashion institute, something. But they had a film program randomly. It's just like an art school in downtown LA. And like I went through the interview process. Like the girl was like, you're a perfect candidate. Like we'd love for you to come up here and like have a physical interview, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, but you had to pay for your own housing in downtown LA.
Oh,
and I was like, there's no way I can do that.
That's a no-no.
Yeah, there was like no student help for that. It was just like so not feasible at all.
Yeah.
So that kind of crushed that dream. And then I found Full Sail. I thought about going to TCU for film.
TCU?
Yeah.
Oh.
Knew I wouldn't get in because I hated school. And I knew that TCU's film was more so from the books rather than like teaching you hands-on, especially from the beginning. And it's just really expensive. And so I wasn't really considering TCU. I just knew it was an option.
Yeah.
And then I joined a production company, OM, and they all went to UNT for film and like totally regret spending that much money for a piece of paper. So I was like, oh my gosh, you're totally right. Like I'm not going to TCU. And that's when I decided Full Sail online.
Okay.
So,
cool.
But yeah, so I got my first camera 8th grade. It was a T3i. Still have it. It's super cute. So funny. And that's when I started my photography business because I realized it had photos too. And so freshman year of high school, I started to take like family pictures and some engagement pictures, some wedding pictures, and then eventually saved up to buy my 70D. So now I'm saving up to buy Sony something. We'll see what that is soon. It's probably going to be an A7, but yeah. Ooh. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think, I started my like obsession when I was 15 and really got into Photoshop, which was really fun. Our teacher was like she was a great teacher. She was like one of the few teachers that actually like...
Mine was terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like absolute trash.
Oh my God. Well, I hate that. Yeah, our teacher was like super awesome and really easy. So she made like teaching photography like super easy. Like
that's awesome.
Which was amazing to like start out that way. And but then I started like my own photography business. I think I started it like 4 years ago or 3 years ago, but I started taking it like really seriously only like these past 2 years.
You're right.
Because like I was actually I was kind of the same route as you. Like I thought I was gonna go to this art school in Seattle called Evergreen. Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
And like I went through the interview process too. I went to Seattle to visit the school, and like I fell in love with it, but only saw like the good sides. Like I didn't really consider the downsides, which
that's how I was with California Baptist. I got in.
Yeah.
Toured, I got in. And then my dad was like, I really just don't think this is a smart move for you to move to Riverside, California. I was like, you're totally right.
Yeah, that was literally the same. Like I got in. And
that's weird.
I was doing school at Weatherford College at the time to get more credit.
TCC.
LOL. Yeah. And
I'm telling y'all, our stories are literally the same.
But I was at Weatherford College, and one day, like, I was like really trying to decide if I really wanted to go to Evergreen. Like, am I doing this? Like, am I straight up doing this? And I wrote a pros and cons list, like, while I was in my history class. I never paid attention in that class. Oh, it's fine. I don't need it anymore. Never needed it. But I was in my history class and I was typing out a pros and cons list. And I just remember visually, like, looking at it and not really reading it, but looking at it, the cons were like this, like, huge. Yeah. And then the pros were like this small.
Really? Mine was opposite. I feel like I was lying to myself when I made a pros and cons list about Full Sail.
Really?
I was trying to downgrade it because I wanted to go to CBU, because I wanted to move to California. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I was just typing out, which was good for me to just type out my thoughts, like not pay attention. Yeah, because I was like, I wasn't paying attention to see how much was in the cons and how much was in the pros. I was literally just typing out like, okay, I think that's all the pros that I have. I think that's all the cons. And then I stepped back to look at my computer screen. I was like, holy crap. Like, this is a clear choice. This is not what I need to do. And it was already in my heart, like, that I shouldn't be doing this from just, like, I was praying about it, like, constantly and just, like, heard from God that, like, I shouldn't go for some reason that I would not know in that moment. But now I know now because my life has taken a totally different turn for the better. That's good. But, yeah, I don't know what my life would have been like if I would have gone to Seattle.
Right. I feel the same because I didn't realize, like, how much I would get to visit California. Like, I was like, I have to move there if I wanted, like, because, like, I wanted to live in LA. I wanted to work in LA. And then it became more and more apparent, like, my parents basically told me, like, we'll pay for your school if you're in Texas. Yeah. I was like, there's no way I'm paying for my school, especially out-of-state California and my living. So it was just,
that's
like, it would make my life so much harder if I had moved. And also, like, I feel like that was a time where I was just really selfish and everything. And being able to, like, see now living in my apartment for over a year and just all the blessings that God has given me that I never would have expected, like, never gave the thought that, like, God could do such a thing. And, like, it created tension between, like, me and Seth, like, telling him, like, we'll have to be long distance, but, and I think, like, telling my dad, just sitting down with him and being honest. And I basically told him, I was like, you have me for another year and I'll do Full Sail online and, like, I'll finish it in California. Like, that, I was like, I'm going to California still, just not right now. But now it's been a year and I just signed another lease for a year in Texas. So, but
I'm not sad. Like,
because I made so many great friends, but, like, that was a time where, like, all my high school friends were still in high school and I just
wasn't. We both graduated a year early.
And that's another thing that, like, I feel like was really beneficial for us both to go to a community college. Yeah. Because I graduated in August, which was super random, and, like, school had already started, so it had to have been spring, and that just puts you in a weird
I graduated in September.
Yeah. Oh
like, in the beginning.
We're figuring out new things. We're like, are you kidding?
I know. I literally told Isaiah and, like, Rayanne, like, all my friends, like, guess who just graduated high school?
Right.
Like,
Peace
and
out.
they were like, how? It's September. And I was like, I just had enough credits.
Right.
Moving on to college.
School.
Like,
yeah, doing it early.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so, like, staying here has really, I feel like, made me mature a lot, and it's, like, helped me develop my craft, because I feel like if I went to LA now, I would demand so much more for, like, an employer because of the experience I have now. But, like, then I would have been treated like trash and would have been in that game for, like, 7 years.
Oh, yeah.
Until I could, like, land a serious gig and be treated like a professional.
Oh, yeah. You have to really, we think we have to prove ourselves here. Right. Like, we do have to prove ourselves because of our age. But
Texas is so more generous.
Texas is, like, the most generous, and it's in the Bible Belt.
No,
like
literally.
period. You know what I mean? So like that just it shows like that like the generosity and your value, like your time is valuable, and like we we validate we validate your your experiences and your passions. And in LA, it's just not like
they don't
that.
Give a crap. You want to be a film
like
maker?
So do a
all right,
thousand
go
others.
Get coffee. You know, like, well, actually, I want to touch a camera. Oh, too bad. Like, you have to be an employee to do that, and it's just like so crazy. And I like there was a time where I was like always applying for jobs out there, and like Netflix, I was applying for jobs, and like just like putting my name out there, trying my best to. And then I almost got an internship with Awesomeness TV.
Really?
Like they called me and everything, and I was like, I just kept saying yes, ma'am, because I'm so Southern. I don't know what that whistling is outside, but like before she asked me where I was from, she was like, "Are you from the South?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." She was like, "You don't have to say yes, ma'am." I was like, "Yes, ma'am." I'm sorry. Okay, but
sorry, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but I was really like encouraged that like I would be considered for that position, but then I just had to tell them like it required that you pay for your housing in Santa Monica. Santa Monica is double like, the price of LA. Yeah. It's like $4,500. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
For a 1-bedroom. And I was like, I'm getting paid $250 a week, if not a month. And I was like, that is my car payment.
Yeah.
How in the world? But people do it. Mm-hmm. Like they choose to like the homeless life for that, and I totally respect that, but that is something I do not want to do.
Yeah, I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to voluntarily put myself in a somewhat of a sticky situation and always living in stress. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but I think we should talk about like our age group in the industry, because I think that's something that's very important, and it's something that is overlooked easily. Yeah. You know? Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, like we could share several stories, just the times. I mean, just the times that we've been friends. I mean, I have my own photography business, but I also work for a real estate media company, which everyone in our company is just photographers for all the new housing and listings. So we just go to the house, we take pictures of it, and then the realtors put, the house up, on the website for sale. But I had a time where I think it was my 3rd week on the job. So I was getting a hang of things, but still new. And one of the, we were filming a video for a like Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce group. What?
North Texas?
No, it was for like a country club. So it's like, the type. Okay. Like you can like picture these type of people. Right. But anyways, this lady had said, like how old are all y'all? Me, my boss, and one of our other coworkers. And they were all like, oh, I'm 33, oh, I'm 20, whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm 19. Mm-hmm. She goes, oh, where do you go to school? And I was like,
yeah, that's a jump too.
I was like, okay. I was like, I don't go to school. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't go to school. She goes, oh, then what do you do? And I was like, I'm this.
What do you think I'm here doing?
I was like in full, like my face was getting flushed because I was like, this is so weird. Mad. I told her, I was like, well, I'm here helping filming your video. Right. And obviously it was very overly polite because she was an old lady and she probably just doesn't, you know what I mean? That generation is just, she doesn't expect that, someone young can not go to school and still be successful. Yeah. And so she was like, oh, well, like, is everything like okay for you? Like, are you doing okay? What? And I was like, first of all, that's really personal. Yeah, and I was like, I'm doing great. I don't know why you're asking me this. She goes, oh, well, there's still time for you to go to school. Like, you're so young. Like, there's still time for you to get like an actual education.
Actual education. Oh,
and I was like, I didn't know what to say other than being like,
okay. Thanks so much.
I was kind of like, it was kind of one of those deals where it's like you're talking to the most stubborn person that you can't convince them like you are fine and that you are successful and that you are probably doing better. I'm doing better than I would be in school. Yeah, like I'd be failing every class because I'm a lot better, and I'm a lot like, you know what I mean? Like I would be failing every class because I just don't function in a school environment. I just don't. Yeah. So.
No, I totally understand that.
But yeah, I know you have several stories of like just like people taking advantage of you because you're 19.
No, literally.
Or you're young in the film and photography industry. It's ridiculous.
I've had so many instances like just bad clients who are just really disrespectful. And it's definitely helped me value myself more. Like there's I'm thinking of 2 clients right now, but there's like just different people who approach you already with a negative attitude or like a negative connotation. Like there was this guy who was like 67 who was wearing a hard hat and like a construction vest with like this pelican case. And I was flying my drone, my Mavic Pro, at a shoot that I was hired to be there for the guy. It was his building, his factory. And I was flying my drone for him. And so, like, it was approved and everything, obviously, because it's his grass and it's for his building. So this guy walks out and he's like, do you have your drone license? And I'm like, no, actually, this is his, like, and I understand, like, yeah, I should get a license anyways.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, it's fine. Like unless you're the FAA, I really don't care if I have a license or not. If you're the FAA, sure, I'll respect you. I'll tell you I don't and not fly. But this is just some random guy who wants to get into my business. And he was like, oh, well, I have a Mavic Pro, so I also have a drone. And I have my drone license, and I have 36 hours of flight. And I was like, I have that drone too. Oh my gosh. And those Ray-Bans, I have the same ones. We're wearing the same ones. Yeah. And I was like, it was just like really funny that like he had all the same tools as me, but yet wanted to like
flex on you.
One up me. And I was like, well, yeah, this was when I was 18. Well, yeah, I'm 18 and this is my client. So I'm going to fly my drone.
Yeah.
It was just like, and my coworkers who were with me, who had me on the job, and we were all just like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Did he really just come up to you and say that? And so it's just a joke now, like, between all of us. Like,
like an inside
do you
joke.
have your drone license? You know, and it's just, like, something to laugh about now. But I was just like, oh, my gosh, are you really going to come up with, like, to me with that attitude already? Like, it's just stupid. But, yeah, so ever since just, like, the negative experiences that I've had with people who seem trustworthy, like, there was a phase where I didn't get paid for something I was told I would. And I did all the legal things right.
Yeah, I remember.
And I just had to let it go. Ultimately, the fight would have cost a lot more than what was owed to me. And basically just said my goodbyes really respectfully.
Sometimes you just gotta, like, you have to pick your battles in these situations.
Right, exactly. Like, is it really worth...
Yeah, and you want to stand up for yourself in these situations.
Totally did that.
Some of them, like, you just, like,
you're just
when I was talking to that lady,
yourself.
like, you just, like, it's stubbornness, and it's, like, nothing, it's gonna go in circles, and they're true to their point of view, so I'm just, it's just cool to, like, pick your battles and walk away.
Right, and so ever since that, I've definitely been a lot stricter on, like, my contracts and being transparent from the beginning. And if they're not willing to be transparent, you're not going to work with them. Like, they're just not worth risking your business and your time and money for. So that's definitely been something to learn from. And now I get to say that the guy who screwed me over, I'm doing video for his ex-client who... is his ex-client for a reason because of his work ethic. If he's watching this, no hard feelings. I'm doing great. Like, sorry, that's the only thing I'll say that's
I'm doing great, sweetie. Thank you.
You know, thank you, next.
Thanks.
But yeah, so it's just like giving it time and being patient with other people.
Yeah.
Not expecting too much, but also being respected.
Yeah.
It's definitely important.
Like, find the middle.
Yeah, the middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very important. I feel like a lot of people, especially our age, are getting into photography and film and stuff like that at such a young age, which is so great to see. Like, I mean, this is a creative.
This generation is like Photoshop.
Woo. Yeah, for real. And you know, we're all young entrepreneurs. Like, when you come down to the ground, like, I mean,
everyone wants their own business.
Everyone wants their own business, which I think is, like, the coolest thing. Like,
it's so crazy.
Like, I think this is our generation to where we're the most creative and the most, like, work, like, you know what I mean?
Work
like
savvy, work
like
motivated.
Yeah, like to want our own dealio. We want you know what I mean? Our dealio. We want to be our own bosses and have our own businesses.
Right.
And so I think the important thing to know as like a young adult in this industry, it's not easy, and like it's supposed to be not easy. Like you creating your own business, like it takes time and your money. Right. It takes a lot of your money too. Yeah, invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. Like I was telling a friend the other day, like if you really want this dream to happen, to work for you, like you can't be paying like small dollar for like your dreams. You know what I mean? Right. Like you need to be paying.
You can't expect what you don't put in.
Exactly. You can't expect what you don't put in. Exactly. So I would just like, just like give the advice of like, if you really want this, so you're going to go after it.
Right.
You know, if you kind of want it, you're not going to go for it. And what you should really, if you kind of want it, like, and you're not going for it, you should really reevaluate what you want.
Right.
Like what your dreams are. Mm-hmm. But I think just letting people know that you're like true to your business and that you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But you also need to prove to them that you know what you're doing. Right. Don't just say that.
Don't, like, second guess yourself, because others will already do that. If you're not confident in your own self, they're going to see that, and it's going to be
people already do that. Like, even if you are true to your business. Like, people do that to me all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, do you really know what you're doing? I was at a house, and
or when they're like, oh, it's okay, I already have someone who's doing 4K. I'm like, oh, well, I could do it better. Like, oh, do you not think that I do have a 4K camera? Because I do. Yeah. That's why I offered you a 4K video.
Yeah. Anyways. Sorry, no, it's very true. Like I was at a house, and this lady, I was taking photos for this house, and the homeowner was there, and she asked me, where's all your lighting? And I was like,
don't need it.
Oh, I don't need it. And she goes, well, I'm a photographer. And I was like, as soon as I said that in my head, I was like, great. We have another photographer in the room. And she's like, well, I'm a photographer and I use lighting, and I really think you should consider like using lighting for your future houses. And I was like, okay, well, you were the one who hired me to take photos for your house. And then we gave her the photos. We do like we do like some crazy stuff to our photos, but and she loved them. You know what I mean? Like she was like, wow, these are really amazing. Like I couldn't do better. And I was like, oh,
yeah, we know. That's why we're a professional company.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess just some tips. As being like an individual freelancer, photographer or videographer, and I said this kind of in my last podcast number 1, have a good website. Try to find other creatives who might be willing to trade services. That's something I had never knew of or thought about. But if you're like, hey, you design websites? Oh, well, I do photography and videography. I'll create a free commercial for you if you do my website. And so that's where I'm kind of at right now with my commercial or my website remodel. Found a guy who's really nice, really awesome at what he does, and he's willing to work on my website. May have to wait like 2 or 3 months for it. But that's a lot better than spending $300, $400 because I want it now. Like, if you have that money to spend, do it. But I do not.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. And the business card. I know you just got a new one.
Yes, too. I just bought some new business cards.
Vistaprint.
Yes, shout out to Vistaprint.
Amazing.
I love Vistaprint. They gave me like 500 business cards for like literally $28.
Right.
Like, can't beat that price.
Yeah.
And they're top notch. Like they're,
Yeah, they deliver fast.
They do deliver fast. It came within like a week and a half. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Yeah. But I've already handed out some business cards. I was at the Apple Store yesterday and was buying a new computer.
Nice.
God bless. And I was talking to the guy. He was like, what do you do like with your computer? And I was like, oh,
what did he look like?
I think he was kind of Hispanic.
Oh, never mind. Because there's an Apple worker who, when I had my phone issues, like I had to go to Apple 4 times in 1 month. He was like, "You're back again." I was like, "Yeah," but like he knew I was a videographer because every time we would just have like conversation.
Really? Yeah. Well, he was asking me like, what do you do for a living? And I was like, oh, I'm a photographer. So having a computer is like a necessity and like a need because I download like 500 to 1,000 photos like every day. And he was like, wow. And so this person literally across the literally across the table overheard me and was like, hey, are you a photographer? I overheard.
No, I'm not. Yeah. I'm just pretending.
Yeah, he's like, you're a photographer? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, are you local here in Fort Worth? I was like, yeah. And he goes, I would love to talk to you about, like, you know, I work for a company and we're looking for some, you know, stuff for our website, and but we need portraits. And I was like, oh, here's my card.
Yes.
So easy. Like, he has my email, my phone number, my Instagram. Like, he can go look at he has my website, so he can go look at my folder, or my photos on my website. Like, it's just so easy. Like, here's my card. Yep. And you have all my information.
That is what I said in the first one. I was like, have a business card, because you're not just giving them your number, you're giving them your face, your website, everything that they need, all in one thing. Yeah. And it's super feasible to obtain that and invest in it. It's like she said, $20-$30 for a generic. I paid like $90 because mine are square with a matte finish with so many layers, because this is my third business card that I've done. So I wanted to make it last for a while, because what I found was that I would do something so crazy that I would either be sick of it or something would change. In like a year, so I had like 300 cards left over of my old one. And so I was like, now I pay for the Google Suite every month. It's like $10 for my info at abigaildalton.com. That was like a big jump. I paid for a new domain. Like, I did all these big business moves just to have like a new professional business card.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely took some investing. That was a lot of money. But yeah. I don't really know what else. What is this dog doing? Behind the blinds. She is behind the green screen, which is right up against my window. So
hope he doesn't fall through.
Okay, hope he doesn't knock this thing over.
That'd be really funny. Hollywood just falls on two girls. Local
there's a candle right there. And
that would not be funny. Local Hollywood girls burned to death by the Hollywood
girls,
sign.
Except they're in Fort Worth with a green screen. Ooh, tea. But yeah, exposed. I guess we can honestly wrap it up. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. I think just tips on, I mean, if you're a young photographer, if you're someone who's young in this industry, like, go you. This is a really hard gig to have, like, and it's a really hard skill. It takes a lot of your time, a lot of your money, like we said. So I just wanted to give you a huge shout out and a huge pat on the back, because we know how hard it is, but it's something that you're passionate about. You know what I mean? Like, if you love it, like, you're not gonna see it as work. You're gonna see it as, like, literally your passion. You're gonna be working in your passions, like, every day, which is, like, the best gift and the best blessing that I have in my life.
What are your social medias, websites, and stuff like that? So people can go check it out.
My social medias, my Instagram is ag.lee, with 2 E's, like Bruce Lee, and that's really the main, my Twitter account is SkateyAG.
That's great.
But yeah, Instagram is really my main source of. What is he doing?
Chua is stuck behind the green screen.
Oh, that's so funny. He's so sad. He's so sad. Yeah, but go follow me on Instagram.
My Instagram and Twitter are Abigail's Journal. My dog's really stupid. Sorry, he's in the background trying to get into his cage, but there's a green screen in the way, so that's not working out for him. And my website is abigaildalton.com. If you have any questions or want advice or any topics you think we should speak about, you can comment on our YouTube video if you're watching this. My YouTube's just Abigail Dalton. Or you can email me at info@abigaildalton.com.
Yeah, and also my website, I forgot to say my website. My website is agleephotos.com, so you can go check me out there.
Sweet. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Yep, bye.